Startup Grind is a global movement, hosting over 150 cities in 55 countries all over the world, and more than 100,000 entrepreneurs have been to the events so far. Welcome to our Startup Grind here in Gothenburg. This is our 6th event so far, and it is a very special one. I'm already kit up, got my Nudie Jeans on. I want to introduce tonight's hashtags. Hashtag Startup Grind, hashtag GGTech, GBG for the win, and of course GLab21. I want to encourage you guys to join our meetup group and like our Facebook page so that we can keep you posted on the latest news if you haven't already. Introducing the team, we have Sam, Jonathan, Alexander is there somewhere, Jelena in the back with the pink iPad, Julia, and Hannah. Where are you, Hannah?
I'm there.
Way up there. Great. And of course, I want to introduce our partners for the evening, GLab21 and Peter.
Thank you. Thank you. And first of all, I would like to say welcome to all of you here. You are one of our first guests here at the new GLab21 space in the city of Gothenburg. What we're trying to build here is the heart for startups of Gothenburg, a live arena for collaboration growth. And we live by an African proverb that's called like, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you can go together. So that's what we're trying to do here. We want to inspire collaboration. We want you as startups or startup people to work together, even if you're doing your own thing, that you collaborate. That's the main thing that will take you far. So in that spirit, we want you to connect. We want you to meet some here that you haven't met before. We want you first to hug, because then you have like some kind of better connection than shaking hands. And then we want you to tell one of your experience, an experience that you've been living by the last year, something like that, that hooks you up. And then also to tell the other person what you can help them with, what you're good at. And then use that when you mingle later on to connect people. So you can start now, you have 3 minutes.
Just take the person sitting next to you. Hello everybody. It is a pleasure to see that we can fill up this room, and to be one of the first honored guests. That's awesome. We're also very honored to have Palle here today. I'm sure you're all done your research, but one thing I want to make sure is that you all know exactly what a Startup Grind welcome is, because that's what we're going to do. Before Palle joins, we're going to do a Startup Grind welcome. And a Startup Grind welcome is very warm and very exclusive, and it's a rock star welcome. Get it?
Yeah.
So how do we do them? We stand up, we get a lot of energy in, and then we applaud, we clap our hands off. You ready for that?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Palle, if you can hear us, it's very soon gonna rumble here. All right. So, our honored guest of the evening always tries to enjoy the days he has on this earth with his own words, very curious on what life has to offer. He runs a business in roughly 30 countries, over 500 million in revenue, sold more than 500,000 jeans, one pair that are keeping a safety distance between myself and this chair right now. He was recently awarded West Sweden's foremost entrepreneur, a big fighter for our town, Gothenburg. Let's give a big, huge Startup Grind welcome to Palle Stenberg. This is Palle. Yeah. I wasn't joking, yeah. He's right here.
But maybe not a rock star.
It's a rock star welcome for sure.
Aha, welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was a rock star.
Yeah, well,
in my next life maybe.
Well, maybe we can talk about that too. How'd that feel, by the way?
I'm a Swedish person, so I think it feels quite hard. I'm used to meet a lot of people, and I'm not afraid of that. But I think the Swedish mentality is quite of a team. Nudie Jeans is not a single person; it's plenty of people behind it. So we are a huge team here in Gothenburg and around the world, and no one is more important than the other. So that's why it's not me walking in here; it's the entire team of Nudie Jeans.
Yeah.
In this person, good or bad, I don't know. You have to judge.
I love that. And do you see that, by the way? I mean, we're jumping in deep already, but is that something you see in your global team? Has that spread around the globe, the Swedish culture?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about that in the room behind here, and I think that's one of the key to our success. I mean, of course, the product you offer has to be good, but many products are very similar. So what makes them the difference? And for me, it's the culture. Nudie Jeans been around for 14 years, and by some reason 2015 is the year of culture. And then when we had this big meeting when we invite people from all these 30 countries around the world here to Gothenburg, because here's where we're based and here's where the culture comes from. This is the year of culture. They look at me, but Palle, what do you mean? I mean what I say. If you don't understand us, how can you spread the right word about Nudie Jeans around the world? Because it's also when you've been around for a long time, you're very important. You're for me very important, even if you're not like a manager in some areas. If you've been in a company for many years, I look at you always and see how you treat the newcomers in this room, because you are very responsible to spread the culture, because that's our most important, how should I say, assets to success. So
Right.
So that's why Gothenburg is important. It's our background, and to work on the culture.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very clear for anybody that's bought a pair of Nudies. So I myself wanted to go through the experience just this last weekend. Just to get things right, I wrote it down. I got myself a Grim Tin Dry Selvage. And holy shit, that was some denim nerdiness going on inside of that store. Yeah, so the culture was all the way down into the retail, and everybody in there was so passionate. Is that something you guys talk about a lot internally?
I mean, no and yes. I mean, the brand is founded by a girl, an old friend of mine, who I've been known for many years, Maria Levin. And when we started the company for 14 years ago, it was the funny thing is Maria wrote a philosophy. And that philosophy today, when you read it, is actually more accurate today and what it was when she wrote it 14 years ago. Have we ever worked with the culture? No, in the beginning, that was us. The culture came from us. We didn't have any PR agency who gave us, this should be your culture, this could be good for your brand. We actually said, no, we never used any external PR company. We've done everything ourselves. So no, in the beginning, the culture is just who we are. But now when we become a few hundred people around the world, we have to put that culture on a paper, and we have to start to talk about it in the office. So people who is not working close to us or been in the office on a daily basis here in Gothenburg will understand what it's all about.
Well, hi, I'm Joey. I'm from Nudie Jeans. Nudie Jeans is a brand from Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden. We're the naked truth about denim. That means that you should respect your jeans and wear them for as long time as possible, and they will turn into a second skin for you. Well, the reason why we produce all our denims with 100% organic cotton is pretty self-evident. If there is a way to make an environmental friendly and sustainable product, why not? To us it's the most natural thing. Well, we care about our product, both how it's made, but also the people making it. I mean, the workers' conditions, for example. We follow the Fair Wear Foundation's requirements, how the conditions for the workers should be. We also regularly make audits and follow-ups at the suppliers, both at the suppliers but also their subcontractors. Every pair of Nudie Jeans that is sold, we sell them with a promise of free repair for as long as they are repairable. Either if you come into our repair shops and the denim specialists there repair them for you, they are truly amazing what they can do these days. They're so good. But also if you don't live close to a repair shop, we have the repair kit. And the repair kit contains a needle, a thimble, and some denim patches, so you can patch up your jeans yourself. If people are tired of the jeans, they don't love them as much as they should anymore, we take them off their hands, and we give them a 20% discount on their next denim buy. And we take the old jeans and we repair them and we wash them, and then we put them back in the shelf and sell them as a unique second-hand piece. We talked about break-in, we talked about repairing, we talked about reusing, and the last part in the cycle is the recycling. All great things, as you know, must come to an end, and the denim is no different. Recycling saves energy and also reduces the use of raw materials. We turn old jeans into rugs, camper seats, and new denim fabrics, amongst other things. Well, that's all for me. Hej då! I'm still here. Just kidding. Bye.
So let's talk about that movie. That's a good clip.
Yeah, that's the short version about the brand. And I mean, the brand is much more than just a single product. But first of all, I just want to say what a fantastic movie. I'm so proud because that's made of the team in the office. Just across the street from here, you saw the balconies or balcony where you saw the harbor and everything.
Yeah.
So that film is actually made by people working in the office and no one else. And the voice of the guy, Joey, is an employee who's been working for us for many years. So he was the chosen one to be involved this time. Next time it could be someone else. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to make any commercial or here, but it's a good presentation in a few minutes about what Nudie Jeans is all about. One thing is, of course, what's very important. When you as a consumer you choose a pair of jeans, I mean, maybe the most important thing is the fit. Should fit nice. I mean, you can have as many other values into the product, but if it doesn't fit well, maybe you don't buy it. But I mean, when we started 2001, the denim market looked totally different compared to how it looks today. It was like 5-6 big players who didn't do that much, to be honest. They looked at each other and tried to keep their own position on the market. They produced in a way who was maybe not the best way for the environmental stuff. I mean, cotton farming is one of the most poisoning and bad thing to grow on a field. And we wanted to make a difference in many areas. Crazy or not, I don't know. I remember when we were sat in a cafe 2001 in Vasastan here in Gothenburg, me, Joakim, Maria, and we discussed, okay, should we quit our jobs and really do it? And we said, what the heck, let's do it. Hopefully we can have at least a salary. And I went to my boss. I was working for one of the big denim brands at that time. I said, sorry, Hakan, who is still a very good friend of mine. I'm gonna quit and we're gonna start our own jeans. But no, can't quit, do your own jeans. It's impossible. Look around, it's only 5-6 brands available in the world. How can you do it? I don't know, I said. I have no idea. I've never done it before, but I had a feeling. I felt that this could be something. And that's something, okay, but how big did you thought it could be? I have no idea. You can't put figures on how big you can be. You can't put figures on a feeling. But I think the feeling, if you have the right feeling, you know it. That's something I learned these years, the balance between your mind said it sounds reasonable. At the same time, your stomach screams, it's totally wrong. And in the beginning, you want to be smart, listen to your head. But at that time, I didn't. Nobody of us did. We listened to our hearts, and the feeling was right. And I think that's the part. To have a success in no matter what kind of business, you have to really believe. Don't follow because you think the other people are smarter than you, and if they do it, it's good to be part of it because I don't want to be left outside if it want to be a success. You have to believe. That's why I say that passion behind whatever kind of product you're creating is easy to say because it's hard to, what's passion? I don't know, but it's very important. We all are a part of the world we live in, and so we can't blame, but we tried to make a difference, and we tried to create not only the jeans we love, how they look, but also the feeling how it is to wear them, because the other values. I remember that fika when we said, think about producing your own jeans, where the entire change is, you have so much control over it, so when you go to bed and you put your head on your pillow, you know that everybody who's been working with Nudie Jeans in the factories or whatever has had a good day, as we had. That was like the idea, and we had a conference here in Gothenburg. We actually spent some money to rent the Konserthuset on the avenue, and we invited all our denim suppliers. We only work with Italian fabrics and Turkish fabrics. They are the best in the world. And at that time, we only had 20% of the collection was organic. 80% was still produced in conventional cotton. And but I remember, I was younger at that time. We went onto the stage, me and Maria and Joachim, and we said that we have a goal. We want to become 100% organic in all our denim production. And at that day, we had meetings with the suppliers, and some others said, "You are crazy, but we're going to follow you." And some other big suppliers said, "Sorry, we don't think it's possible, so bye-bye from now." Friendly. And now when we, 3 years ago, became 100% organic in our cotton, we showed it is possible, because that's what we think. You can use it as a marketing tool. Oh, look at our organic collection. Oh, how many percent of your total? Yeah, 1%. Good. Then you show you can do it to 1%. Call me when you have done also the other 99, because then you show yourself it's possible. But coming back to these denim suppliers, but still Mr. Caniani, who is still of the biggest suppliers in Europe, he got back to us like maybe 1.5 years ago and said, "Sorry, I was wrong, you were right, could we still do business?" Perfect. And that's also when we start to create, you can see on our website, is this transparency. We, from now on, tell this story. This is no secrets, because Nudie is too small to make a difference. We want to be motivating other new companies or big companies to show them it's possible, but you can also read exactly where we produce and how we do it. And if you want to contact the same factories we are working with, super. Okay. Nobody is happier than me, or actually them. They're quite happy because they have a lot of requests.
Looking from your view when you started it, was there a specific let's build a global brand, or rather how do you do it?
No, I mean that's the hard part to answer. I've never been to university. My mother almost killed me when she found out that she's a judge, hard as hell. But that, okay, I have to do something else. No, I mean, of course we had, but coming back to what's the passion, the dream, but how to do it, we had no idea. I mean, some experience of course we had, but to build a global brand, at that time, I don't think you spoke about it as global. You said national market or international market. Today, for me, I mean, if someone asks me, tell me something that could be good to know, there is just one market. It's global. I mean, don't focus. Let's start with Sweden, West Sweden, and North Germany, and so on. There is one world. Facebook, Twitter, everything spreads so quick. There is one global market, but be a niche, because that market is that big. So even if you're a niche brand, you gonna have a huge company if you want to. So think global and be a niche, and don't be afraid to try to do business outside Sweden or outside Europe. It's sometimes easier, I would say. Just many people, we only focus in Sweden. We don't feel that we are ready for some international market or global markets. I think my second trip was on a Ryanair flight to London for 1 krona.
Yeah.
I did, in English. Okay, I have to speak English. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So.
But it worked out.
It worked, yeah. I'm still here.
So
and I speak okay English. That's also something very interesting. English, I mean, go to US, they know how to speak English, but then you can always start to meet said, I mean, you have to listen to my Swedish, because I guess it's better than your Swedish. Oh, yeah, no problem. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, but that first line you guys did, it's a great story, right? You had 3,000 pairs, if I remember correctly. And what happened?
I mean, we joined this fashion week in Copenhagen, and we had gone to the bank, and I got 50,000 krona from SE-banken here in Gothenburg on my extra loan on my apartment. My sambo, girlfriend, how do you say sambo in English? It's a good question. Yeah, whatever. She thought I was stupid. I had to pay back everything if you didn't, whatever. And we bought this production of 3,000 pair of jeans. This was then 2001. The market was much more different today. We joined the fair, and then the night before the open is like open for the business only, and other brands there looked and said, yeah, nice products, but they're way too expensive. It will never work. Saturday, the first day, after lunch, it was sold out. So that gave you, quite a good start. You were quite happy about that. I remember we had borrowed Joachim's dad's old Volvo 740 station wagon, and on Hallandsåsen on the way back home to Guth, and we borrowed Richard, a friend from his dad, painting table. He was a painter, yeah. So we borrowed his painting table where we put the collection. That was all we had. And on Hallandsåsen, the gearbox just was like soup. But I said, come on guys, let's call for a rental car. I think we can afford it. Yeah. So that was
sold out, right?
That was the first trip back home from a successful.
What is that huge journey do to a company?
I think when you listen, I mean, there's two things that is very important. You have to have a good idea and everything that we all know about. Timing and luck. That's something. Timing, to do the same, to launch Nudie Jeans in the same way today as we did 14 years ago, would never work. The market looks totally different. I mean, even if we didn't have Facebook and high-speed internet at that time, for you who don't know, we had something. Oh, you can't phone, mother, you can't phone now because I have to not even send an email because I don't think, yeah, we had emails, but whatever. So timing and of course some luck is important, but that time was timing. But still we have some kind of internet, quick message kind of thing around the world. So, wow, something new happened in a market where nothing happened for like 150 years ago since Levi launched the first pair of 501. This I have to see. So, to be honest, the beginning, the first 5 years was more to say no to business than to say yes, because people became crazy about it. I was in LA in a motel more maybe than like a hotel. When it knocked on the door, dong, 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 dong. Right. Is Palle in there? You know, don't open the door. It was me and Joe, don't open the door. Dong, dong, dong. I have to see the brand. Okay. And then I opened, and it was Michael Dovan, who still works with Nudie Jeans in Los Angeles. He was calling the office in Gothenburg, coming back to, is Gothenburg a good global city to have a company? We can speak about that later, very good. Yeah. But he called my brother, who is still working in the company. Our first employee is my little brother. Today he's the production manager. Mommy is very proud. But he called the office and Joel asked about, oh, my name is Michael Dove and I'm having a great store in LA. How can I see the brand? Oh, my brother is in LA right now. Where is he? And at that time, mobile phones, you switch it off when you leave Landvetter, and you don't put it on until you're back at Landvetter because roaming was extremely expensive. So I didn't know, he couldn't say, he didn't even know that. So, and he saw the product, and by that was maybe one of the best stores in the entire United States of America. And people start in his store to see, that's important how you position a product. That's what I mean, say no, everybody wants to buy it. Don't sell to everybody, because then you maybe kill the long-term business, which is for us the key. We are not here for making like an exit or sell as much as we can. We want to change the world, and that takes time.
Yeah,
just that.
Yeah. Everybody needs role models and mentors. So when you were growing up,
good. I don't know. I mean, leadership. Sometimes, if you have a bad experience about leadership, I think, and also if you first leader, if it is like in sports or at work or in school, if you have a bad leader, you want to do things more by yourself, I think. But coming back, for me, is the opposite. There is nothing better in life than have a good leader, to have a good boss that push pressure on you, but also support you on your like in your work. So who did I have as a role model? I don't know. I've been thinking. I had a trainer when I was playing handball. The coach, he was quite hard, and I was quite bad in the beginning, but he kept on pushing me, forcing me, and I actually ended up playing in the junior team in handball in Sweden. And I can tell you, I was really bad in the beginning, and without him, I would never qualify for that. So I think that leadership is very important, and it's also extremely hard. I mean, on myself, I have to see myself as some kind of leader, and it's very easy that you're not taking that role. You more become like a friend or a person who try to not make the hard decisions or whatever. But leadership is important, and like the team, coming back to the team, nothing is stronger than its weakest part, and the leader's role is to make sure that everybody in the team are doing as good as they can, because that's enough. Just do as good as you can, because that's great. But if people only work 80% of their possibilities or whatever you say, it makes it not as good. So, yeah.
So, was there, anything in the water or what that led to this creativity in Alingsås and later for you?
I mean, Håkan Hellström, who we know, the son of Gothenburg, the more you listen to him, the more fantastic he is. He's writing a song about, what is it called, south of Göteborg, small area, I lost the name. But he says something about, where I come from, no one is a star. Everybody is like trying to get the mud off from the river. And I think that's a little bit Alingsås. We are not like, it was like that. You have to fight your way up. There was no, I mean, nobody thought there were someone. Nobody was like better than the other. We were a big gang of dirty kids that run around in the area. And still that's the feeling, which I say it in a positive way, because that you have to work. I mean, nothing was for free. You have to perform yourself to achieve something. And I think that's not all so. I think that's a positive Swedish thing. Yeah. Also, again, the combination Sweden, how we see Sweden as Swedish people here in Sweden, and how people around the world see Sweden. I mean, it's not, of course, because I'm Swedish, but I'm 100% sure that Sweden has a great possibility in the global world, because people love Sweden. All meetings, if it's in Germany, Saudi Arabia, United States, Japan, when the meeting is done, everybody else, so tell me something about Sweden. Why are you da 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 da? I mean, it's a huge potential, and we spoke to Brett outside about Swedish people. Oh, why are you going? I'm traveling to New York, I'm going to Thailand, I'm going this and that. I met people who want to come here. They call me when they've been here in December, when Gothenburg showed the weather from its best side, it's raining from the side, and 2 weeks later they called me, so Palle, when can I come back? Like our CEO in the US, who has a wife and 2 kids, who have 2 weeks holiday, which is precious for them. Should we go to Mexico, Florida? Hey Palle, I'm thinking about taking my wife and my kids to Gothenburg for my holiday. Oh, shit. He stayed here 2 weeks, and his son was crying on Landvetter when he went back home, and he still asks his dad every Sunday, when are we going back to Sweden? So I mean, this is something we have to use at an advance, because even if you're part of the European community, we have to be konkurrenskraftig, I've lost the word. Competitive. We have to focus on what we're good at. We can't be like a mix of German and French, because then nobody wants to do business with us. So what's Sweden good at? And that's a lot of things.
What's the worst day you ever had?
The worst day I ever had. It's a good question. What's the worst? No, I mean, Worst day I don't have bad days.
Not even bad hair
no,
days?
but I don't say I had one bad day. I had plenty of bad days. I mean, life is short, and sometimes you feel you do a lot, but you have no time to stop and reflect what you're doing. It looks like you're just running and running and running. As soon as you stop, you feel, oof, I can't stay here, I have to run. And that was a bad time. That was like after 7 years of been traveling around a year. This was the first 7 years I was never home.
Yeah.
I was out traveling. Emails, phone calls, your own personal, how to said, judge in your head. You can be better, improve. I think, which ended up in a situation where it was like, I didn't know how to use all that energy and all this pressure, which was for me quite hard. But then I found a perfect lady, Elisabeth was her name, up in Ljungskile, who taught me how to catch the day, how to relax, and that unfortunately I don't believe in God, which means that my life is shorter than people who believe in God because they come to paradise. I have to have my paradise
right
here and now.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit a religious experience who changed my life because it's not about speaking about my childhood and whatever. Who cares? I don't care. You don't care. What happened in the past, that's an experience that you're going to bring the rest of your life. But for me, it's like here and now. I wrote my only poem that I read when we were in Italy for a kickoff for everybody about here and now. It doesn't matter if it's Monday or if it's Tuesday or Saturday, as long as you enjoy life here and now. And this sounds maybe very stupid, but for me that was like a milestone. Since that, every time, of course, you get the same feelings and you have pressure, you have a lot to do. But the mindset is very important. And I think the mindset is very important because the body language is the quickest way to communicate. Maybe quicker than Twitter. If you meet the person. I don't know, you're not that better than I do. But no matter what kind of presentation you have or what kind of brilliant idea you have, if you have the wrong mindset, it will not be as good as it could be. So then it's better to cancel the meeting and rebook it when you think you have the right mindset. Because, and I also think that when you meet friends and everything, you know, how is it? And you always answer, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also very stupid. Because what happens if someone says, it's really bad? I have to leave now, I have a meeting. So I mean, that's the normal thing. Everything is good, but it's not always good. So I think the mindset, and that was something that was really tough, but that wasn't just one day, that was over a long period of time. People came and said, oh, so congratulations, I'm so happy, everything is good with the company. And there was moments that you can have it if you want it. I'm so fed up with it.
Yeah.
But
tell me more about the experience then with Elisabeth.
It was just like...
was it an intense thing? Or
yeah, I went to a retreat for a week.
Okay.
People were and I left up. I stayed in this small room, and no alcohol was allowed. But I, of course, had my bag 2 bottles of wine. That was what I did. Not because I drink that much, but I mean, you never know. You get bored, which I didn't. But I drank the wine, and the Friday. Every year, me and my old friends from Alingsås, we go to Bohuslän, and his father-in-law has an old sailing boat. And we are 4 guys every summer, it sails for 3 days. Nobody knows how to sail, and it's an old crappy boat. And Tobias, my oldest friend, he called me and said, can I pick you up now? Oh, yeah, it's okay. And he was quite nervous to see, because he's known me, but he always says to me, Palle, you're exactly the same person. But you're much more, balanced than you were before. You're everywhere and please do. So that was for me very, very important.
Right. Yeah. Super interesting.
So that was the bad day.
Yeah. If you look back at the closest, thing to heaven you can remember in time that where you just, damn, this is a good day. What was that?
Last week, I had so many good days. And that's
a great
sound. I mean, Last week we had a international kickoff in London.
Yeah.
Started Tuesday night until late Friday, and both the mix of hard work and a lot of fun was so perfect every day. And just coming back again, we launched a new product. We opened a new store, or second store in London, and so on. And just feeling about culture, how important that is. Now when you come back home, even if I feel of everybody around the world that they are much more motivated now than ever before. And what have we changed? Nothing. It's still the same company, it's still the same brand, it's still the same idea and everything. But that week was so important because it's the people who makes the difference. And I'm 100% sure now they will fight even harder every day when they're out trying to tell the world about Nudie Jeans. So that was a good week.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk Gothenburg. Gothenburg is an important value to you, it seems.
I mean, Gothenburg is the place where I live.
Yeah.
I think if I was still living in Alingsås or I lived many years in Malmö, I think that would be the place. So Gothenburg itself is not like in the water,
right.
Gothenburg, oh hallelujah, or whatever. But I think that, I mean,
I
live here.
Yeah.
This is where we had to have the head office. Here is where we work mostly. Here is where I have my friends, most of my friends. Here where I have my family, and so on. So I think that. And I think also in the global perspective, one is more the private side. You have to enjoy where you live, and some people doesn't say anything. Some people sit home and think everything is bad, and some people do something. And I think that all of us will be much more happier privately if we do a little bit. If everybody helps out, then you don't have to put in so much time. No one can do everything, so I think that's very important. And also business-wise, I mean to have good colleagues and have good possibilities to be a global brand. But coming back again, there's a few products that maybe are local, but mostly of what we produce here in Gothenburg, but also the potential for the future is global. And that's why I think we have to not only look into what's happening on the inside of our offices, we have to make sure that we are an attractive city. I mean, my biggest project right now, personal project, still very secret, but not a secret. I mean, I have found New York City loves GOT. GOT stands for the Landvetter, Gothenburg Airport code. I mean, of course, it's not about that people should escape and leave Gothenburg. Oh, quick way to leave to the US. That we do on a daily basis. Sweden travel a lot.
You want to get a direct flight, right?
I want to have a direct flight, and I want people to come here.
Yeah. Anybody here would like
to work here, to have a holiday here, to sail with us in Bohuslän, and you know all these kind of things. Yeah. And then we have to make Gothenburg attractive. Mm-hmm. And also I think that maybe Gothenburg, I don't compare to other cities, but Gothenburg needs a change.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah. Let's
not discuss that. Oh yeah, I agree.
No. Maybe just tell the story, right? So what's going on? You're in Stockholm.
Let's tell Anneli Hultén, who she is. She is the, how do you say that in English? Mayor. The mayor of Gothenburg. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, not whatever.
The top notch of Gothenburg politics. Let's make things up.
Take it a little bit before it happened, because that's what I mean. Nudie Jeans is based in Gothenburg, but we are not depending on Gothenburg. We are free. I mean, we like to be here, but we can also have the company in Alingsås or in Amsterdam or whatever. But we want to stay in Gothenburg because we like the area. And been a part of some borders, and I met a lot of people, and I've heard for so many voices said, oh, this is hard in Gothenburg, and they do like this, but I can't say anything because my business is mostly in Gothenburg, so if I say that, I don't allow to sell the screws to that house or that place or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I usually say, if I hear something once, I don't believe it, but when you hear mostly the same story from different people, then it must be some truth behind it. And of course, then you can choose by, shut up. But as I said before, maybe that's my role then, who is like a bit independent in Gothenburg. I could speak out. So that was like somewhere in my back of my head, and then we had won a prize. Our branch voted us to the best export company in Sweden. Went to Stockholm. I invited Michael, our CEO of USA, to Sweden. He met the Swedish Export Council and a lot of people. We had a great day in Stockholm. In the evening we got the prize, had a lot of food, went out and had a few drinks. And the next morning I had an early train back home to Gothenburg because I had some meeting or whatever. So I choose, okay, party on along, up early, I'm gonna sleep on the train back home to Gothenburg. But by some reason I opened my you have free internet, I don't use roaming in Stockholm, you know. So I came on the train and I put in my code and have free Wi-Fi. Now they changed it to just a certain amount, which I think is greedy, but whatever. And I looked in this GP about this venue in France, building, construction, whatever. And then now I'm gonna sleep. And I was so angry because during my speech, when we got the prize, I said this is also because of the creativity and the city of Gothenburg where we get the inspiration and everything. And I read this. And also all I've heard about other people said. So I, in this phone, by hand, and I'm a bad writer, wrote everything, texted a friend. Do you have Annie Hulténs email? Oh, yeah, what do you want to do? No, it's private between me and her, which was the purpose. This was my opinion to the leader of Gothenburg. Send. Ring. No, yeah, it's Annie Hultén here. I don't agree, but sorry, I'm on the train. Can I call you when I'm back to Gothenburg? But I didn't sleep anything on the train back home. But anyhow, we decided to have a coffee in the near future. She could come back to me, which we had really good talk and everything. And nothing about that. Then the day after, the phone called. Right. No, I got an email. That's why I was there. I got an email from another party in Gothenburg. Nice email to Anneli. Sorry, you must send this email wrong because what letter? Oh yeah, the one about yeah, but how do you know that? It's a vad säger man? Fri handling. It's a public in Sweden. Yeah, Sweden. You know, the press and also the other parties every day go in to see what kind of letters is coming to the mayor of the city. Yeah. And then GP called me 2 minutes later about this letter to Annie Hultén, and then I said, and I actually managed them to not make a note about it. I said to be 100%, this was my letter. Okay, we respect that. Yeah, for a while they did. But then actually they called back and said, but aren't you behind what you wrote? Oh, yeah, but if we say that this was found out because of this public post it. Yeah. Then my phone lost all the battery in one day without answering a single phone call or SMS. It was crazy. But also I felt very happy because I get so many comments regarding the feeling I had was right. So yeah. Absolutely. And so it was just a coincidence, everything. Yeah.
So it's impressive. If nothing else, it's impressive that you managed. It's quite of a long email, and you did that like this on your iPhone, and I think that in itself is a feat. Yeah.
But just coming out from that and what we spoke about in the kitchen and everything, I think that no matter what I wrote or nothing about me, but I think new generation people who understand the global thinking and everything, I think that Gothenburg have a huge possibility. One thing is that we have the old industry. We have like Volvo who investing a lot of money in the area and everything, and also everything that happened around Volvo. You hear about these Chinese car companies open like a office in Gothenburg because they get more contact with the patent here, which is you're not allowed to take into China by rules. Right. We have like SKF and we have AstraZeneca, but also all you and the new fund at the Chalmers, and so on and so on. But now we just have to make the platform available for people to start to be crazy. I have a friend. Now I speak. I have a friend who lives in Palo Alto. My oldest friend Martin. We lived in the same area in Alingsås. His background was not a forced, like, go to university. When I lived in Malmö, he came to visit me and said, Malmö is much nicer than Alingsås. He was 18 years old. I have to find a way to stay. So he got this brochure from Lund University, and he found something he called usability, which they put in Malmö because Lund University, usability, what's that? We have law and medicine. Right. Nobody tried to get into that course, which he did. 3 years later, when he came out, he was unique in Sweden. He know how to work with usability. He get employed by Sony Mobile in Lund. They send him to USA. He lives now on the same street where Steve Jobs lived, but much further down. But it's a long street. And he worked at Sony Mobile and Barnes & Noble, so now he works with something called Tango. I don't even know what it is, but I called him and said, I must come and visit you. You have to show me around. So we stayed 4 days in Silicon Valley area, met people from Tesla, new upstarters, all these kind of words that I don't even know what it means. But sounds interesting. So how do you do that? But it's so much different, and we can. What I've learned from there is we can borrow a lot of things which are good from there, but they're not smarter than us. So I mean, it's not that people are smarter in California. Maybe opposite. I don't know. Let's make a test. Yeah. But to steal, and also we have a lot of Swedish people who lives in that area, which are used. He says, I can come to Gothenburg, whatever, but more better. Some people to me in California, and I can open doors at least.
Right.
So you'll be the doorman to the nightclubs. I mean.
But if we can, wrap up a little bit in terms of words to somebody here who, with an ambition or an idea to do something great right here in this room or right here from Gothenburg, what would you tell them? What's your thoughts on that?
No, but I think I said it before. Think global, be a niche. Make sure you have the right people around you. Again, I'm sitting here representing Nudie Jeans, but we were from day one 3 people. Maria, who worked with like the design, the brand, production. Joachim, good at figures, counting. What does it mean if we sell this much to produce for that product? Logistics. And then me, who was more the external person, sales and marketing. And that was without these, the look, the luck and the timing, not the look maybe.
What is the single most important thing you're looking for when you're hiring?
Then we usually, we always 2 people when we hire someone. Usually the manager for that department is responsible for the tasks the person is going to do, make the skills and everything. And I would like to be, if not part of all the interviews, but at some of them, because for me it's the culture. Because the worst thing you can do is recruit someone who doesn't fit into your culture. It's not good for the person, and it's not good for the company, because the team has to play together. So it's very hard. That's also something I have no idea. I didn't know how much work it was with organization and people. For me, that's like 50% of my job, and I don't know how to do it. Yeah. So it's quite tough. So give it a little bit extra time and make sure you choose the right partners or people.
Gothenburg's position in the global environment. Can you elaborate?
I mean, that's my that's the book I'm gonna write. That's something I always forgot. Since day one, when I took my first Ryanair ticket from Gothenburg to London, why didn't I have a camera and a piece of paper and a pen with me to write down all the experience? Because that could be not only for myself, but something to read about. And I mean, except for, I mean, if you just look into the Gothenburg part, Gothenburg has its history. I don't like to speak about the past, but Gothenburg has a history as a trade city. So it's like in our blood a little bit. We are not the capital. It could be a problem sometimes to be a global from a capital, because you have so many other things going around in the city that disturb the global way, or you think it's global, but when you try to launch it outside Stockholm, in this case, maybe it's not as global as you thought. So I think then the location, it's a good place to come home. It's a lot of creative people. It's calm. You have time to recharge your battery, but you can also end up with new ideas and thoughts. But I think still it's the beginning, and that's something we have to work with every day to improve, because what also happens is, and which sometimes maybe afraids us at the office in Gothenburg, the competition out there is not easy. And the better you get, the more you get copied, and the better other people get. So by you improving, you help other people to improve as well. So it's like a lifelong journey that have the mindset which I try to have. It can always get better. Then and so on. But what do you think is bad? I didn't say that, but it could always be better, can't it? So that's something I think, and I think that's a big part of the possibilities in Gothenburg. But also what we spoke about before about Gothenburg in general. There's also some things that is maybe not so good, but that's maybe nothing that you have to think about. You have to think about your plans for starting a company or whatever.
Thank you so much. It's been a blast. A lot of good thoughts, a lot of good conversations. A big round of applause for Palle, please.